everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Round the Multiverse with your hosts, the man who hates his kids so much. Actually, no, I love my kids so much. I put them on a team with juvenile delinquents so they could be better people.
Yeah. And the man who's beyond Deathstroke. See my chum? Dad jokes. You know dad jokes?
Get it. And he's a great dad, this guy we're going to be talking about. So, in this episode today, we are going to be discussing the
original Terminator.
Yeah, literally, yeah, he is, isn't it? Because he outdates Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator, doesn't he? Because, Deathstroke, man, he started in the 80s, isn't it?
Yeah. He was definitely before, because I don't want to say that was a copyright. Actually, it's the same thing with Karate Kid, where Karate Kid was in Legion of Superheroes, and the guys that did the movie licensed Karate Kid off DC. You see at the end credits.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Thanks to DC for just like Gangrel for if WWF use Gangrel, they've got to credit the White Wolf.
Yeah. Well, this time I thought David Hurd, aka Gangrel, owned the name Gangrel, and he had something to do with White Wolf. That makes sense now.
I think it lapsed. Okay, so even though it was a side tangent, I think they did get Gangrel back for the anniversary something.
Yeah.
They didn't credit him. So then White Wolf was like, well, we're gonna sue you now because you didn't credit. And then it turned out that the trademark had lapsed, so they had no foot to stand on. And then I think that's when David Heath decided, you know what, swoop in there.
Now, yeah. He was Vampire Warrior. So going back around, now we're going to be talking about everyone's favorite Assassin for Hire. The more expensive version of Deadshot, because that's a joke in if I remember correctly. Deathstroke, Wade Wilson.
Yes.
And Wade Wilson's dead. Oh.
No, Slade Wilson.
Slade Wilson.
Yes. Live action versions.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
And I will say, by the way, so they had Suicide Squad and got Harlequin and Deadshot on it. But when they wanted up it to the next level, they put Joker's daughter and Deathstroke on that other team. I think what team was that? I don't know. They made a team with them in there, and I was like, okay, so you just level up the next level of version of these characters. All right, okay.
You know, Joker's daughter is technically a downgrade from Harley Quinn. Well, yeah. I kind of.
Yeah.
Name, I guess. Oh.
Yeah.
So the versions will include, if I'm right, Arrow.
Yes, Manu Bennett.
Yep. Titans.
Yes, S.A. Not Rios.
No, not.
What's his name? S.A. Morales.
And then
from Mission Impossible 7.
Oh, that's the one I haven't seen yet.
And, okay.
And Joe Magarag, what's his name?
Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
For his brief appearance and
Yeah. And Michael Hogan in Smallville.
Oh, I keep forgetting he was in Small. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, and I watched those 2 episodes, by the way. I watched those 2 episodes that he was in season 10. I watched them fresh because I was like, I remember him being in it. I remember him not being notable. He is still not notable, but whatever. And I was like, wait a minute, how old is Deathstroke? Because Slade Wilson's meant to be capable, but Michael Hogan's way past the age of. Look at look how old Liam Neeson is, and you still think that guy can take people, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like. And Tom Cruise is 60.
Yeah.
I think Michael Hogan was 60 when. Michael Hogan was 60 when he was playing Deathstroke, thereabouts. Not Deathstroke, Slade Wilson, by the way.
Yeah, Slade Wilson.
And he didn't look like he could do much. And you're forgetting, though we're just going to briefly gloss over this one, the Deathstroke from Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, who was Deathstroke in name only because he killed people with strokes because he's got the power of magnetism. All right.
Okay, that's a.
This is a Deathstroke that was called Deathstroke, but not Slade Wilson, right? It's just some dude. Oh, it was actually a kind of a silly fun episode, actually. because they're talking. It's Lois and Clark and Bob and I want to say Alice, but Claire, I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how when they went on a couples double date thing in season 4, and then they separated, and they're like, oh, how do you think the glasses can fool people? Blah blah blah, right? But it's Bob talking to Alice. I want to say Alice, but I can't actually remember her name.
Yeah.
And when he takes the glasses off, he's, Deathstroke the assassin, whatever. And it's like, oh, well, they weren't talking about Clark as though they knew what their secret was. Yeah. But forget that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so of these Deathstrokes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's not a lot to say about DCEU Deathstroke. Other than, let's start with the obvious.
Yeah.
He probably has the best costume.
Yes. Yeah. His costume is awesome.
And he looks very comics accurate even when he's off the helmet and stuff like his dyed hair. But he's got this facial structure and he's got the menace to his face.
Yeah. He looks oh wow, he could be the machine. Yeah.
I mean, he clearly had the best looking costume, right?
Budget.
Yeah. And even though they didn't end up doing anything with him, I would have liked to see in the idea of what they were going to do with the Batman, where essentially Deathstroke's going to be a shark chasing Batman through the entire movie.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Like I was really looking forward to that. And even when they kind of going to retool it, I was like, oh yeah, that'll still be quite good. But then nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it would be completely action orientated, which is what we want because we could see what the DCEU Batman could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, then he's basically removed from the conversation because.
Well, he does turn up again in the end of Zack Snyder's cut
of
Justice League, where he's with the whatever's left of the Justice League.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember what actually happens. Yeah, well, he's there. And that's when Batman uses his swear word, and
yeah, because he's hardcore,
yeah, which I get it, but yeah.
Like Batman can say stuff without swear word, and it sounds completely like he would have sworn, because that's how much bass he puts in it.
Yeah, but it kind of, I guess, for what it was doing then, it slightly fitted, but yeah, he just didn't care anymore. But yeah, so
okay, so of the 3 other Deathstrokes, even though I put 4, right? If the 3 other Deathstrokes, one of them wasn't Deathstroke. Michael Hogan was not Deathstroke. He was just Slade Wilson, so he never even had a costume. So we could just say of all of these, he had the worst costume.
He just had the eye patch, didn't it? Because I kind of remember it now.
He didn't even have it. It's a metal eye thing.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Was he in a wheelchair? Or am I thinking of something else?
No. You're thinking of something else. But he did do. That episode was about the superhero registration, the Metahuman Registration Act, because it's Smallville. Yeah. And they were talking about. It was basically kind of Captain America Civil War before that, right?
Yeah.
Even though that was a season-long thing. And Deathstroke's like, I hate these vigilantes with such a passion that I'll destroy myself to destroy them. All right?
Because that always works. We've learned that.
Yeah, exactly. And then he traps Clark in a kryptonite cage. And Clark's like, you got to deactivate the kryptonite so I can save you. And he goes, I'll go down with the ship. And then explosion. Yeah. And then Clark's elsewhere.
Yeah.
In his barn. Doing the base of hay. Yeah. And Oliver Queen comes to talk to him. It's like, okay, well, hon, how did you survive the kryptonite cage? What's that? Okay. Really? I mean, the explosion weakened you, right? Well, I mean, the kryptonite cage weakened you, so the explosion should have hurt you? I don't know. But hey, that's what they do when Clark had his fight with Doomsday there. They crashed into the...
Oh yeah, into the Earth's core or something crap like that. Yeah.
Well, he charged up into the sky. They crashed into some abandoned facility of some sort, and then next thing you know, Henry James Olsen's funeral.
Yeah, it was like you never sort of understood what happened.
I think they just cut too much. Anyways, and then he comes back and he gets he comes out with that thing on his eye, even though he's got. Clark X-rays him and he's got the Omega symbol on his skull somehow inside it, whatever, possession by dark side sort of thing. And then he lures Hawkman so he could have a sword fight with him and shank him. And it's like, well, no, he doesn't. I think Lois goes there to try and get some information on the Registration Act, try to expose it, whatever.
Yeah.
He slaps her as a high-ranking official slaps a woman. Abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. The B slap.
Yeah.
And then Hawkman comes in to save her. And they have a sword fight, which I'm like, Michael Hogan, you can't do this.
No.
Right?
Clearly
And through circumstances, Hawkman gets his vision impaired, and then he gets shanked. And I'm like, all right, okay, but and then Clark finally makes his way there, and then he's like, how did you survive? Because cybernetic enhancements from the US government or whatever. And Clark's like, all right, let me just throw you in the Phantom Zone in that case. Boom, done, dusted. Not much to say about that because he didn't do much, and he was so convinced of himself on the right side that just made everyone else his enemy, just like some people in X-Men, yeah. And it's just like, I don't know if I'd say that's a great portrayal of Slade Wilson.
No.
They could have been anybody. It didn't even need to be Slade Wilson.
I'm saying it didn't need to happen.
Exactly. Unless he was Slade Wilson Senior, and then you've got Slade Wilson Junior as the proper one.
Yeah, then that could kind of like somewhat make sense.
Yeah.
But that's just dumb.
Yeah.
Like that's when Smallville kind of like lots of things they tried in Smallville. That's where they failed, in my opinion. Like
I think they in Smallville they started running out of. They tried to make it once he was in Metropolis a Superman show, but it wasn't a Superman show because they were still like he's not Superman.
No.
And they had to bring characters forward that people expected to be there, because how can you have a long running storyline without these characters that people would expect?
Yeah.
Gotham did it.
Yeah. Well, Gotham's like one of the best shows ever made, so that's.
One of the wackiest shows ever made. I'll give you that.
Because these, like with Gotham, they kind of knew they were aiming for, so they just went with it.
Right.
Smallville tried too hard, and like you can kind of tell with the whole when they brought in Blue Beetle, which was just like a dude in a brick suit, and Booster Gold.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it's just.
All right, I mean.
When he brought in Deathstroke, I kind of like, this isn't gonna go anywhere anyway, and I was right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You would have thought maybe he would have the costume at some point, but I guess they will go for the. No one has like they don't really go for costumes in Smallville.
No.
Yeah. So.
Well, not even that. It's just like Smallville wise, how the show was portrayed. I don't know how you would bring in someone like Deathstroke into it, who's like a full on like action character, if you know what I mean, rather than we're gonna strip rate all the cool things about Deathstroke and just make him a old dude. Who
I tell you what also got me. Did you ever watch Babylon 5? Not Babylon 5, Battlestar Galactica.
Bits and pieces.
Right, so Michael Hogan was in that as one of the secondary generals and stuff like that. He always was. He had an irrational hatred of the Cylons, which made you dislike him, right?
Yeah.
And he also was like cowering behind his wife all the time, or something like that. It's just like you don't portray to me a character that, even when you have logic, I'm like, let's just hope all your plans go wrong because you don't deserve to have anything go right. Not because you hate it, but it's just because you're not.
You're terrible.
How did you get to become general? So I think that tainted my vision of him when I was watching Smallville, because I was expecting that I was just like this guy, even though watching it years later, he still wasn't a significant Deathstroke in any way.
Yeah, no, he was a terrible one. I wouldn't say all right. If he was any other character, it probably would better.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. He could have been any other character.
He could have just been General Lane, that's easy one there. Like
his brother or what's it? Bones, Commander Bones. What's the guy?
Which guy?
It's called something Bones, and he's the black skeleton.
Yeah. He's part of Shade, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a D.
Yeah. Not to say, but it's just characterization. He didn't need to be Deathstroke. He could have just been anyone that.
Anyone. No one.
Okay, so on to then the two best Deathstrokes then in that case.
Yeah.
Okay. So in your order right now, before we get into these two, ranking Slade Wilson / Deathstroke.
Yep.
Up to 4, what would you say? 1, 2, 4.
I would literally tie the Titan version and Arrow version. I'll tie them because they both got two things why I can't choose the two.
All right.
And then possibly Zack Snyder's one, Joe.
Yeah.
I can't say his name.
Flash Thompson.
Flash Thompson. Yeah. There we go. Throwback. And then 5th would be the guy.
5th. So you're gonna rank the Lois and Clark version above the Smallville version?
Actually, no. They're both. No.
Well, even though you haven't seen the Lois and Clark version, but
it's terrible.
No. Yeah.
No, actually, that's a lie. Lois Clark will be last because it's just Deathstroke, but there's no connection to the.
No. He doesn't really count. He doesn't count at all. Oh, are you counting Wintergreen as Deathstroke? Better than Michael Hogan's Slade Wilson?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So let's go into your. The Deathstroke from Titans and the Deathstroke from Arrow, and then we'll try to work out which one you should push to number 1. Okay.
Okay. So one from Arrow, even though he's short and everything, he's the guy's good at everything.
How tall do you think he is?
I for some reason think he's like 5'6". I don't know why. I don't know why I think that. He's probably taller than that, if I'm honest, but that's just in my head.
I think you're not too far off the mark. I think he's 5'9" or 5'10" or something like that.
Okay.
But he's not short, right? You would say his average height, but for Deathstroke, he's meant to be like 6'4".
Yeah, he's like a super soldier.
Yeah. However, I will say this: Manu Bennett, he has the presence.
Yeah, he does. That's what I think.
Whatever the height he's meant to be, he gives you that in aura.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He's actually great at it.
Yeah, so I think the way his portrayal is, it's like height doesn't matter because he comes across as like a giant.
Yeah. He feels that root like he brings that presence like, oh yeah, no, this dude is actually trouble. Like he could actually possibly murder me.
Yeah.
And the reason why as well I like him.
Yeah, go on.
It's how it says vigilante. Not a vigilante. Vigilante. You're like, oh,
yeah.
Bless him. He's trying.
I like. Yeah, they said he was from New Zealand because that's where the act's from.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Nah.
At first I was kind of like, okay, sure.
I just thought he just had a specific way of saying stuff.
Yeah.
Even though I was from Spartacus, so I knew who.
Yeah, because I didn't
was
find
from.
out until later on that he was in Spartacus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's that dude. Because I never really watched Spartacus, but I remember this.
Oh, you should. And then you'll see so many of these Arrow actors in there. You'd be like, what?
Yeah, because like they fished a lot of people from like New Zealand and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah. But yes, I like that they worked the backstory around him. Yes, okay, fair enough. Manu Bennett probably couldn't do accents, right? But it didn't matter because everything that came with it, though, benefited.
Yeah, it did. Oh, this guy.
Yeah. What did you think of the 2-year storyline they had with him? Well, I know he's in more of the series, but the main storyline was like 2 years long.
Was it? Because I remember it's season 2 he comes in it, right?
Well, yeah, but it's in season 1 from the flashbacks.
I totally forgot that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that.
He teaches the Queen how to fight with, and then they have as usual they have beef over the one lady on the island because
I forgot about that.
Yeah. You know what they should have both done? Both of the guys should have got together, and then the woman.
Everything would be fine. Even though we probably get Arrow, he'd probably become like evil or something, or she would become Deathstroke or something.
Oh yeah.
That's a big mistake.
That's forward thinking.
Oh, that's stupid.
I think was there a real life? Okay, I might be mixing up things here, but I think there was a real life story where there was 8 guys on an island, and there was one lady on the island. And then they started trying to murder each other to get with her.
Surprisingly, I would believe that is real.
Yeah, and I think she was already someone else's wife who was in the army and left and stuff like that. So but she didn't. She wasn't like trying to get them to fight each other over her.
Yeah.
They just were because she was the only female on the island. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, men, eh?
Well.
Yeah. It's like they that, men, eh? You know.
Okay, but yeah. So, all right, his costume. What do you think of his Deathstroke costume?
I didn't mind it. The only thing I'll say about the costume is the helmet is kind of budget.
I think the entire get-up looks tactical.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, I think it suits the idea of where the genre it was in. You know, I want to say TV show and that, like Arrow, but realistically speaking, that stuff he could get gear and make that costume.
Yeah, it's realistic. It's realistic. Yeah.
Whereas the one in the one in Titans, not to cast because it is a good-looking costume, right?
Yeah.
And it's very 80s, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not an 80s looking costume, but it's like they took the design of the costume from the 80s and modernized it.
Yeah.
But that's custom. That's 100% custom costume because you won't be buying bits of that in the local hardware store and making it together.
Or you wouldn't bring along to people when you're ordering it. Like,
yeah. You're gonna have to get exact measurements.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's a bit.
It does look good though, and I think sometimes it makes him look like a cyborg though.
Yeah, it does. I'm looking at it now, like, yeah, it kind of makes him look like a literal Terminator.
Yeah. I will say as well, the costume from the Arrow is very helpful to the stunt actors because they can just pad themselves up and take the bumps.
Yeah, rather than having to literally like, drop on their shoulders and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because when this stuff is, I mean, though it looks good, how maneuverable is it?
Yeah.
You know?
It could like have barely like any mobility in it and stuff like that. Oh.
Yeah, and then it's all impact when you're hitting.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want.
Yeah. But based on so we'll just say based on each of the characters' looks, yeah? Are you choosing one over the other, or are you gonna say they both look good for their particular show's requirements? They
both suit the world they're in.
Okay. So you're not choosing one over the other. That's what I'm. Yeah, because I agree with you there. Because Titans obviously got bigger budget, but it's just like it's more of that superhero world.
Yeah, because they have like more, I want to say, comic book accurate costumes in Titans than they did.
Yeah, and a lot of comic book characters, so he's got to be able to look within that like that area, whereas Arrow only had Arrow at this time.
Yeah. And come later.
And his what do you call this group? The Arrowettes? I don't know. But you know, they're not in superhero costumes per se.
No.
Until the Flash starts.
Yeah. I don't know. I know they're called Team Arrow, but I'm trying to think about it.
Yeah, we'll just call them that for now. I don't think they had I don't think they had another name.
No.
Yeah. So we're gonna say they draw on looks, costumes. Yeah.
Yeah, costume they draw on. I prefer one costume over the other, but I'll say they draw on looks. Because like I said, I kind of do.
Okay. Well, okay. How about the? Oh no! I thought you were saying something.
No, I'm saying because I kind of do, like you said before, the Titans one looks more makes him look more like a robot, like a Terminator or whatever. But then, like you said, is it really practical? But then they give they kind of give a reason why he has that costume in Titan, so I get around. I get it.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. But I also like when you look at him, the Deathstroke in the 80s. That's kind of ish what he wears. So you're like, you know what? Okay, it's fine. All right, out of costume, out of costume with the eye patches and their grey hairs and their goatees. Right? Would you say there's not much in between? Like they look as far comics accurate as they can. Considering the facial features are always going to be different, and you're never going to look exactly like how the comic book is drawn.
Yeah, and also because they're both like I know the one from Arrow, Manu. He's I think he's like Samoan or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
he doesn't look it.
Or Polynesian. He's from one of the Polynesian countries.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the guy from Titans, I think he might be Mexican.
Yeah, okay, now I'm just stereotyping. Like, but Mexican, Puerto Rican, somewhere like that, right?
Yeah.
But we're just probably going by his name.
Name, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Well, he's from.
Yeah,
New York,
he does
right?
look. He does look. Yeah. I couldn't tell. Couldn't say where he was from though.
No. But yeah, so that's the only sort of.
But actually, but I'll say that doesn't matter though.
No,
as in, it's not.
It's not like his character traits rely on his race, like so it's not.
No, but it's even then. It's not so apparent that you'd be like, oh yeah, actually he's a Mexican playing, or you know,
exactly.
a character playing a white. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like, for example, you seen Star Trek?
Yes.
Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
And he's meant to be Khan's meant to be Indian.
Yeah, but he's like a blatant white dude.
Well, he's not. I think he's a Mexican or someone.
Oh yeah, he's Mexican. It's what's his name?
Ricardo Montalbano.
No, when they redo basically Wrath of
Oh,
Khan.
yeah. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah,
yes.
like,
I'm talking about the old one as well.
Dudes.
But yes, yeah, exactly. So, two white guys playing Indian. Yeah.
Like, okay, sure, I get it. All right.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, no, I get it.
So, yeah, if you're going to talk about ethnicity, and we'll just wrap it in this as well.
Yeah.
His daughter Rose Wilson, played by Chelsea Zhang, who's Chinese.
Yeah.
So, but is she Mexican Chinese? I guess it must be, right, because her mum. Yeah.
Because even in the comics, she's not Chinese. She's from she's meant to be. Well, they play up more now in New 52. She's half Hung.
Oh really? I thought she was full white back in. No, you mean like?
But when they kind of rebooted her now, she's that. Yeah. And
by the way, I think like and the other Ravager we're talking about is Summer Glau playing Isabella, Russian name something.
Rakowski, I don't know.
Okay. Isabella Macau, did you say?
Rakowski, I don't know.
Anyways, but technically, I know she wasn't playing Rose Wilson, but she was playing Rose Wilson, really. Yeah,
she was playing. There was like, okay, let's see if we can sort of get away with this, because doesn't Rose? No, I'm thinking of Amika. She comes. Amiko, sorry, she comes out.
Well, I think the version in Arrow wasn't old enough to have a kid that would be around that age.
Yeah.
Even though he dyed his hair white, but even then, like he wouldn't match up to the age where he was now. Even though he had a son.
Yeah, which kind of. Yeah, they didn't think this through. They didn't really think this through, because the son comes back later on, doesn't he?
Yeah. And that might be in the future. No, because they had a match with him in one of the later seasons, I think.
Yeah. So we wouldn't.
To stop. Yeah, you had to stop him.
Yeah, because they had the flashbacks of him when he takes the sort of serum as well, and he starts going nutty, and he's like, This is before he takes the serum himself. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just quickly speaking of the Ravagers in that case.
Yep.
I thought they were both done well. And I didn't mind the Chinese Mexican Ravager. I thought she played the part really well. And she was quite similar to the comic book version, I think, in look. Like, they gave it a white hair and everything like that. They I know technically Summer Glau is Ravager, but she isn't really. Even though she played the part, I thought pretty well.
Yeah, because wasn't her whole story that he kind of like adopted her in it, and then like trained her to be his.
I don't know why they just kind of called her Rose something Russian name, and then technically side tangent, she is Rose Wilson, but
then I guess because I know why there's certain aspects of Deathstroke they don't touch upon in Titans, because it's questionable his relationship with.
Are you talking about Terra?
Yeah.
We don't talk about Terra.
We don't talk about Terra.
Oh, that reminds me. Have you ever seen this this film called Orphan?
No, but I've heard about it.
Okay, so I
Girl,
want
right,
to.
the 12-year-old girl who isn't really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which there's a real life case as well.
Yeah,
I don't even here, by the way, right? I'm talking about live action Deathstroke, but there was a real life case of someone pretending to be a teenager. I think someone's mum, 32-year-old mum, went to school to pretend to be a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
That's another case. Yes. In Orphan, spoilers because it's from 2009.
Yeah.
Even though you got Orphan First Kill, which is also a sequel to that film years later.
Yeah, which is the same girl getting it, but
yeah, but they had to use camera tricks to make us
look.
Yeah. Well, they had to be smart of how they gave her a body double who's the size of the 9-year-old girl who she's meant to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was a 12-year-old in the first one, a 12-year-old actress playing a 9-year-old character who was actually in the mid-30s because she had a genetic disease that stunted her growth.
Yeah, just trying to get her head around that little sense itself is.
And that's if we're going to defend Deathstroke, that's how we're going to go.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah, maybe Terror was never. I don't know.
Yeah. I read the Judas Contract. Have you read the Judas Contract?
Yes.
And I've seen
the animated one. Yeah, I've seen it as well.
How did I watch Judas? I can't remember if I watched it, but how did they approach it in the animated movie?
Oh, that kind of the same, but without the sexual attraction bit.
Oh, as in they just kind of bypassed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
they just made like issues rather than okay.
Yeah. Like she kind of saw him more like a sort of pseudo abusive father rather than possible love interest. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that tracks because look how he's done his other kids in. So.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Even brings up that from a comics version of Deathstroke. Everyone keeps they talk about how cool he is and how he can beat up Batman because he's super soldier and all that stuff. Use 90% of his brain or whatever they want to see that stuff, right? 90% of your brain to be dodgy dealings with a teenager.
Yeah. If he used 90% of his brain, technically, not even technically, he should know how bad that is, so he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. Right. Which is why it's good that they did not adapt that to any live action media. No.
You know, you can.
You've seen it, right? The movie It's.
No.
Oh, you haven't seen. Okay, so there's the 90s version.
Yeah, I've seen the 90s version. I've seen that.
Oh, and you haven't seen the two recent.
Nah.
Basically,
listen to people talk about it, so I basically know the film. Yeah.
Okay, so in the book, there is a scene which will never be adapted.
Oh, I know what scene I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I say never, but you know how it is. Some people, you can't tastefully do that.
No, I still don't even understand why you would even put that into a book. But hey.
Oh, we know that Stephen King was on all sorts of.
Yeah, all the drugs back then.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't want to say I'm not surprised, but if you say a man on drugs wrote that bit, I'll be like, well, okay,
I'll buy it.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on from that. Whitewash, bleaching all that from our heads.
But like, you can I like how they've kind of kept with most of the adaptation. Well, they've kind of brought it down a bit. That he basically killed one of his own kids.
Yeah.
They kind of depend on.
Well, so do you mean the one in Tie-ins, or you talking about the one in Arrow?
Both, really, because because if I remember correctly, he's the reason why Grant dies.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it for years, but I do. It sounds correct.
Not like directly, but he has something to do with him dying. And
I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if he did directly kill him because he didn't want to see the man that his son has become.
Yeah. Sort
of thing.
And then obviously he kills Jericho.
Yeah. In the Times.
Yeah, in the Times, and in I believe, isn't it?
In Tie-ins, it's inadvertent, kind of.
Yeah.
I think Jericho comes in there to save Dick Grayson from getting killed, I think.
Yeah.
And then he gets stabbed. Does he go into Rose? It goes into Deathstroke's
head, and he's in there for years, subconsciously.
Yeah.
Apparently, even though it's kind of a retcon, but it's not a retcon. If that makes sense.
Well, look, as far as we know, Deathstroke does have history with the Titans, and they were out of commission for an extended amount of time. But yes, then they had 2 seasons where, well, they had at least 2 seasons where they came back, and he decided not to do anything. So,
because like I remember Jericho goes into his brain, or whatever. This is comic wise, and then for years we don't know this. Obviously, it wasn't until the new Teen Titans, the Jeff Johns run, where that's when Jericho comes back and he's crazy, and then later on he becomes less crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, and that's when Deathstroke blows off Bart Allen's kneecap, and then they have to give him a artificial one because it won't heal properly because of his.
Because he's speed healing and it's speed healing incorrectly, they've got to keep on breaking it.
Yeah.
Because it's healing faster than they could correct it.
Yeah. Which
obviously is not. It's not great because you're just like, cracking the knee several times.
Yeah, and because
he turns to Kid Flash because of
his high metabolism as well and stuff. They can't sedate him because it would just not do anything to him, so he has to go through the whole surgery, which feels like forever for him. And then that's when he becomes like, "Hey, I'm not gonna be stupid anymore."
Yeah.
That's good, bro.
Yeah, but I think. Do you prefer? Okay. Do you prefer Kid Flash? Do you prefer Bart Allen as Impulse or Kid Flash?
Kid Flash, because I feel like he had more of a character. Impulse.
Okay, I was saying Impulse was more fun, even though I think they drew him as a teen and then they de-aged him to like a 10-year-old, and then they re-aged him back up, and then and then they replaced him with Bartwar. So.
Oh yeah, don't get started on Bartwar. That's a.
Okay, but yes, the Deathstrokes. Comics. I mean, they go wacky directions. That's all I can say.
Yeah, because like even at some point, Deathstroke's been a good guy.
Yeah. Though they stuck. Well, I mean, he does become a kind of a guy towards the end of when his appearances in Arrow, but I wouldn't really say. I mean, he's just okay. The super serum that they gave him, the miracle.
Yeah. Miracle.
Did you like that storyline? Did you think it made sense, or how did you like? Or did you think Our Man was coming?
No, I kind of.
Oh, hold on. No, I'm getting mixed up because Our Man's formula, I think they used it to make Venom. That makes Bane. Yeah. So I'm thinking the Mirakuru.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that in this version? That's the same miracle stuff.
I think no. Wait, I don't know. Because this is made by Dr. Ivo, isn't it? So I'm not too sure.
I think if I remember correctly, when I was watching, I was like, oh yeah, I think this is the stuff that Miracle Man takes. No, Miracle Man, Our Man.
Because I know separate universes anyway.
Yeah.
Our Man, they in the Stargirl, they use it in that, but I don't remember. I don't know. I just thought they made it up, like rather than saying, "Here's a super soldier serum. Let's make this Mirakuru thing."
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's true.
Can't get sued, even though they can't get sued. But you know what I mean.
No, yeah, but he did have some sort of super soldier serum in the comics, anyways.
Yeah. Because like he's with Captain America went bad sort of thing in it.
Yeah. Absolutely. But both those two Deathstrokes seem to be equally skilled in combat when it calls for it.
Yeah.
Because he's beating up like the one in Titans is beating up all the Titans, right?
Yeah, and like 2 of them are have super strength. So yeah. And
the one in Arrow is just beating up the entire Team Arrow by himself. So and he's more tactical as well because he's like, you know what? If I break his mind, then I break his body or some.
If I break his city. Wait, does he kill? Wait, who kills Oliver Queen's mom?
He does.
He does, isn't it? Yeah, I thought so.
He shoots her. Yeah.
It was Merlin, but no, it's him.
Yeah.
Like
and does he? Who kills Laurel? Who kills Sarah Lance?
Oh.
Before she came back.
I can't
Did
remember.
he do that as well?
I don't know if it was her. No, wasn't it Merlin?
Did Merlin kill her?
I think so.
But she was in season 2.
Was she in season 2?
Yeah, she didn't. She wasn't in season 1.
Then it might have been him then.
All right. Well, he's got a. If it was, you know what, we're gonna.
Because because Damon Dot kills her sister, isn't it?
Yeah, Laurel Lance. Yeah.
I think you might be right. I think Deathstroke look at her.
Yeah.
In the start of season, it's like midway through season 2, isn't it?
I think he murders Moira midway through season 2.
I thought it was near the end.
Is it?
He kills her on the side of a road or something. Yeah. But I don't know. When the city went into chaos or something. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? He had a, like, as far as the season-long plan.
Yeah.
I thought it was done pretty well because it they knew where they were going, and it wasn't like side tangent episodes like went over there wherever, right? It's just like, okay, well, we've got to stop him, and that's from this point to this point, 22 episodes.
Yeah.
Full all the way.
Yeah, especially
all the way, but enough of it. They knew where their main storyline is, and they knew this villain was going to be the guy consuming the entire
story.
The villainness of it, you know.
He was the main quest, yeah. And like, you didn't have that many side quests, which.
Yeah, I will say as well the same for the one in Titans. He came across as a threat. Just he's talking to Titans and he's coming across as a threat, you know.
Yeah. But like, I like how they kind of introduced well because he literally came out of the bat like as a problem because he killed Aqualad first. You know, oh wow, this dude is pretty bad.
Back in the past, right?
Yeah, when they go over the backstory, like, oh wow, this is why they have beef with him. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're like, you guys killed Jericho. Oh, like he blames them for killing Jericho, even though he did.
He did.
But that's how he is. I'll kill you. I'll kill that Titan, and I'll kill every single one of you Titans unless you decide that you're gonna give it up.
Yeah. You know.
And I'm like, oh, wait, hold on a second. Would Batman allow kids to be threatened? Would Superman allow the kids to be threatened? Would they just deal with him?
But that's the thing. That's sometimes you got to kind of forget. You got to kind of let go when you deal with anything with comics and stuff like that. It's like, oh, but there's these other powerful people. Why would they let this little thing happen? Like, you know, you have to let it go. Unless,
of course, the kids never told the adults, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and didn't seem to have a good relationship with Batman anyways, yeah? So he might just have like, yo, Bruce, I'm just going to retire for a little bit.
Yeah, just, you know.
You know?
I'll be over here.
2 words for you. Yeah. And okay, I can see that happening. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do I feel about it? I don't know. But he came up like, so I liked him. He came up with a threat, and then how I remember this, and I don't know how wrong I could be. They didn't kill him in the end, did they? Because that's why I got confused. And you know, in season 4 of Titans, when he comes back as a zombie sort of thing, I was like, wait, what?
Why do I have a feeling that? I have a feeling that he died, but you're making me doubt myself. I know that they beat him up, right?
They beat him up, and then
so this is when Nightwing has his. I'm pretty sure Rose kills him.
Oh.
I think does Jericho jump into Rose, and then it's Nightwing and Ravager / Jericho versus Deathstroke.
Yeah. And
then does she slice him?
I can't remember. But then I can't remember it now. I think I was like kind of annoyed by that. I was like, but he's got healing factor. I don't know. Either way, I just don't remember. I do remember the season ending with Donna Troy getting murdered by electricity. I was like, that doesn't compute. But sure. Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know. Look, if we go by comics law, which this doesn't make any sense, by the way. If Storm can defeat Wonder Woman using lightning, the Amazons maybe have a weakness to lightning.
Maybe.
Electricity, and therefore Wonder Girl managed to get electrocuted.
Yeah, that could make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't though. We're just trying to just
trying to find logic in something that probably doesn't have logic. Yeah.
People didn't think of it that far. Wonder Girl wouldn't have got electrocuted. Well, I say that as well because Superboy, in the same comic with Marvel vs DC, he had to fight Ben Reilly. Clones versus clones, people.
Yeah, I get it.
And he charged towards Spider-Man, who then jumped at impact webbing the guy, and then Superboy flew into an electrical whatever.
Yeah. Electrical,
and then he got KO'd as well, and it's like, okay.
See, I can kind of buy that though. I can kind of buy that because Superboy isn't as strong as Superman, and when because he obviously makes up Tommy part of his TK abilities.
Yeah.
It may have shortened out, and then that done that. So I kind
of they actually do explain these when he makes his appearance in the Return of Superman, where it is telekinetic. It's not actual invulnerability.
No.
That's what he knows. He thinks it's invulnerability. But if he doesn't be aware of it, then if he's not conscious of it, it goes off or something like that. And so, when he got hit with the impact weapon, he was blinded, didn't know where he was going. Then he's vulnerable to electricity. Vulnerable to damage to a certain degree. Yes.
But then.
That's
one of those weird powers that, because of how his original origin, where he's meant to be half of that alien thing or whatever it is, and so it kind of made sense. But then when they actually retconned it, made it a better origin, where he's half Luthor, half Superman. It doesn't make sense.
Well, he was half human and half Superman, anyways. I think Paul Wakefield, was it? Some scientist at Cadmus.
Yeah, I'm saying it kind of makes sense for him having TK power with that. But once he became oh no, he's half Luthor, he's half obviously he's half human, but he's half Luthor, half Superman.
Yeah.
Luthor doesn't have any telepathic abilities, so then how did they?
I think they were trying to mimic. They excuses how they tried to mimic Kryptonian abilities, and they use telekinesis because that can make the flight and invulnerability as well. And then when he holds something,
it goes.
You can lift up the car or whatever, and the car's bumper doesn't fall off because his TK. Because Superman's lifting stuff, it doesn't. When Superman's flying up there to rescue Lois Lane, his arms just don't skewer, through her body, because he's got some gravity field or whatever it is,
or a thing around him.
You're trying to explain the comics. It was just like, whatever, right? But when they explain with Superboy, I give it because TK, right? TTK.
Yeah. Technical telekinesis, whatever.
Even though, yes. So, but to the Deathstrokes.
Yep, to the Deathstrokes.
So are you going to say their storylines they had in their particular seasons was relative to each other as well? So you wouldn't say one specifically. So we're saying the costumes are the same, right?
Yeah.
We're saying our costumes, they both look they have enough of the look that you consider them no one particularly better than the other, right?
Yeah. So
we'll go by storylines now. Who would you say has the better storyline, or are you going to say they're both still the same?
I don't. That's a tough one. I would say because of the length of the story, I prefer the Teen Titans one because it wasn't 22 episodes of trying to piece together something. It was kind of just 12 episodes done. Oh, yeah, cool. That makes sense.
I will agree there as well. Not that those 22 episodes of Arrow were long or anything,
but long. But
the Times one's more to the point. They had less time, so they were let's get from here to here to here to here.
Yeah.
Let's pick up the pace and just go.
Yeah.
Even though you're gonna say Deathstroke's reasoning doesn't make a lot of sense because, I killed my son, but I blame you guys, right?
Yeah.
And therefore, I told you all to retire, but I allow you 3 years before I come to retire you all because you decide not to hold up your end of the bargain.
Yeah.
Even though them superpowered individuals can clearly take him.
Yeah.
All right. And then it's the non-powered individuals that find him at the end.
Yeah. Okay. It's a bit.
It sounds like I'm mocking a lot of it, but
no.
That's the general story, isn't it?
How it was, yeah. So.
Yeah. Whereas in Arrow, it's just like, you know what, Oliver Queen, get your groupies, yeah? I'll beat them all up by myself.
Yeah.
And then when I get depowered, I'll still beat them all up, even though they took him down eventually, And
then they put him in. They put him in that super prison underneath.
Wait, did they put him on the island first?
Huh?
Did they put him back on the island?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the prison.
The prison on the island, yeah.
That's when he goes back later on and he's there. He's like, oh, the vigilante. Blah, I'm a good guy now. Let me help you, my son. Blah.
Yeah. And even though he got depowered, that version, he still did. He was still very capable.
Yeah, because of all his military training.
Yeah, and they did kind of turn him face. Well, the Murakuru was what made him go.
Yeah, insane.
Evil,
or whatever. Yeah.
Really, I would say some of it Shadow had to do with his infatuation with Shadow had to do with you know what? The dude should have just allowed himself by taking the rejection, right?
Yeah, you know.
However, but we will just say the Murakuru hiding everything a bit too much, you know. You always blame the drugs. That's what we do.
You know, like
the drugs and drink and all that.
all the bad
whatever
stuff
it is
in his life.
Yeah. He should have went straight edge, you know.
Yep, but he didn't. No.
Yeah. Yeah. So are we saying they're relative equal in story as well, or are you just saying because of the short one and the fast? Because I know we're saying it's 22 episodes of season 2, but really, if we include the season 1, it's actually 44 episodes.
Yeah.
The long build was good.
The long build was good.
Because you're like, how'd you get from here to here, right?
Yeah.
And then when he made an appearance, it's just like, yeah, this guy isn't messing about.
Yeah. Like, the long build is kind of missing nowadays, like, for monitoring like TV shows and stuff. Yeah. So I'm down with it. But then I'll still put the Titans version over slightly more.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Because because the Arrow one, he basically he took over Starling City. This is before it became Star City, you know.
Yeah.
He's way through the darkness, and then made his reveal when the vigilante. Like, I wonder who that could be. You know, the only person who said for 2 years the word vigilante weird. So that was kind of cool, that reveal. But I don't know. Was it worth 2 years build up? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Then one in Titan just seemed like from straight from the bat, like I murder people. So I mean,
true. But I mean, like you say, it's probably to do with the amount of time they had to be on screen for. It's just like, well, I don't have the time to plan.
Yeah.
Just gotta come in there, start shanking.
You know, and get my point across.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So which one do you prefer then, story wise?
The thing is, though, if you were to ask me, which one would I watch again? Yeah. And you know how much I dislike Titans. Yeah.
Which I don't understand because Titans.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna sit through 44 episodes unless I'm like in the mood for it. But I know that's gonna be like a solid week to watch all of that.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I can get this one done in a day.
Yeah. You must be something like for a week.
Yeah. So it's one of those. It's one of those where if I had to, do I have the amount of hours for it?
Yeah.
And therefore, if I had to watch the ones which I could fit within the time frame that I could watch it, I have to do the Titans one. Even though I want to say I'd like to be neutral on the show, but I hate watch it. Even though it's entertaining to hate watch.
Like it's weird. I really enjoy Titans because it's
over the top. It's too over the top for me. It's too gritty. It's too wannabe. That's how. Not that this Deathstroke came across like that. By the way, he came across as like, you know what? These bunch of kids think they're bad boys. I'll show them what a bad boy really is.
Which you need to do to kids every now and then.
But,
like I don't know, man. Titans. Like okay, I kind of agree with you. Season the first couple episodes of season 1 where they try to be too out there. Then I feel like they kind of reeled it in.
Yeah.
From that onwards. So I don't know. I hold.
Well, let me ask then. Would you have liked to have seen a season 5?
Yes, I would have. Just where they would have went with it.
Right, but did you think Brother Blood was well done in season 4?
Kind of. I did because there was moments of like, maybe he's not gonna be Brother Blood. Like, you know, it might be like a weird switch out, or whatever. But no, he fully went.
I do like that in Titans. They get a villain and they allow it to
grow.
Do the entire series with it.
Yeah.
Even if it's a minor bit, like smaller villain, like Scarecrow or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll highlight this character and let it run through.
Yeah. But I would have like to see Women in season 5. Maybe they brought Deathstroke back. I don't know.
Zombie Deathstroke.
Yeah, again. Yeah, you know.
Or Deathstroke's other son that doesn't make an appearance in this.
Wait, how many sons do you have? Oh, yeah,
He's got Grant.
He's got Grant.
Which is the first Ravager, which died because he tried to impress Deathstroke so much. He keeps on coming back from the dead as well, but...
Yeah.
Then
for some reason, I feel like he has another child.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised if he pretends to be children's. He does a Christian Cage, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm your daddy now," you know.
Yeah, literally, like I'm the patriarch now. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I know they tried this, and I was like, "No, you can't do this because it's stupid." And and this is half a reason why I didn't read the comic. When he tried to say that, oh, Deathstroke's actually Damian Wayne's son. I mean, David Wayne's dad. Like, really, we're gonna try to go this route? This doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't pretend to, as in, if like when they said that, oh, Bane might be Thomas Wayne's son, it's like, no, like,
even though that's a more likely happening than Damon Wayne's, him like Deathstroke being Damon Wayne's son. It doesn't. It's like for the last 15 odd years or whatever, we're gonna try and retcon this now, even though there's blatant like obvious evidence that Bruce Wayne's his father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well.
But they did it with. Sorry to bring up a dead horse. They did it with the Magneto and his kids thing. So why not? I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So we pushed Titans Deathstroke slightly one up on the Arrow Deathstroke. Yeah. At the moment. Okay. Yes, any other comparisons you can make?
I don't know. Maybe I could say that more in favor of the Arrow version of Deathstroke.
Yeah.
They kind of gave him a redemption arc, so I can't. Gives him a bit more boost, if I'm honest, because everyone likes a character can have a redemption, you know. Yeah.
Well, look, I'm just saying he had his fight with the entire team and he survived, right?
Yeah.
Even depowered, right? Whereas powered up version, he died, even though there was reasons for that.
Yeah, reasons we can't remember.
Yeah. I think mostly they were an equal thing. I think also the amount of time they had on screen helped them.
Yeah.
And they're clearly the best two Deathstrokes because the other two Deathstrokes, DCU had 2 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
And Smallville version was just Slade Wilson.
Again, like I said, he could have been General Sam Lane or the other guy who becomes a general. Who is that? What's his name again? Oh, he's a villain called the General, and he's like some Hulk.
Yes. Yeah. I think the guy just legit called the General.
Yeah, it could have just been him. That'd been much more easier to make sense of, But no, we're gonna do Deathstroke because
because they could have done the thing where they're sent with the Phantom Zone, and then maybe they could have had him come back later in that Hulk-like appearance. When he. That reminds me, actually. Do you remember that storyline? That Justice League storyline with that general guy.
Oh, say it again. Sorry.
The Justice League storyline with the general. Do you remember it?
No, but I kind of remember it because they did like an episode about it in Justice League Unlimited.
Okay, tell me if this is the same as what happened in the comics. Because there's a really cool bit where they're fighting, he's fighting all Justice League and he's beating them all up, and I think he's going to the teleport or whatever, yeah? And then Batman steps out and he goes, Batman, what can you do to me? And Batman's just talking to him, right?
Yeah.
And the guy starts blinking his eyes and starts kind of wavering a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Superman comes in there and starts fighting the guy, and Batman goes, you fool! I was hypnotizing him! Almost had him!
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because in the Justice League Unlimited episode, basically, there is a long build up to all this, where he's a part of Cadmus, a secret society that's trying to bring down the meta-human threat, and he helps create Doomsday, all these other little side bits.
Okay.
He gets annoyed because Cadmus are not kind of failing, so he takes his serum and becomes a general. And then while this is going on, the DC the public do a parade for the superheroes, but all the main superheroes are the powered ones. So you got like the C-listers who ain't got powers. You got like Green Arrow,
The Question, Huntress.
No, it's worse than that. That sounds bad.
Okay.
You got the old Vigilante, the cowboy one with the balaclava, white hat, Shining Knight, Green Arrow, and some other few people. And he crashes the parade and starts fighting all them, saying all the superheroes are bad, blah, blah, blah. And then he only gets stopped because it's like Green Arrow and Speedy are the ones left to fight him, and he's about to murder Green Arrow.
Yeah.
And one of the people in the crowd's like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I come to save you lot, like save the human race." Like, well, you've done more worse than any of these guys have done. He's like, fair point. I'm in the wrong, and he just jumps away. And then that's when people start appreciating more about the superheroes about powers and stuff like that.
You say that actually reminds me. So as I was watching those Smallville episodes, and they were doing Oliver Queen went to. So some lady was getting robbed. He went there to save her, and then the mugger was because he runs into the crowd. Yeah. And Oliver has him in like the chokehold, and then he's like, then the crowd's like, oh, the Oliver Queen's vigilante, whatever, thinks he can just beat up normal people, blah blah blah, right? And they all try to fight him. Yeah. But if that's just the way they were going in Smallville, they could have, like you said, just used the general instead of Slade Wilson, because they could have just went from A to B. Yeah. More logically.
Yeah, rather than bring him in for like literally no reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the people in the episode now. It was, I'm looking up at Wikipedia. So he takes this super soldier serum that the Nazis made and Cadmus had hidden, so he took it, and he ends up fighting Shining Knight, Crimson Avenger, that's it, Vigilante and Stargirl and Stripes, that's it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
Okay.
We should one day think about it. But he also appears, this general guy also appears in The Flash, played by Clancy Brown. I don't remember that. Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, Clancy Brown loved to play generals because he was a general in Daredevil as well. So.
Yeah, but he was also Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
The greatest voice of Lex Luthor, in my opinion.
And what's his name in Highlander? I forgot his name.
Was he in Highlander? Oh, he was.
Yeah. The very first one. Yeah. He had the signature name, and I've forgotten it now.
Give me a sec, I'll tell you.
How can I forget? I curse myself. That what?
His name's Victor Corgood / the Corgan.
Yeah. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was cooler sounding than that, but all right.
No.
Kurgan? Is it the Kurgan?
He's Kurgan, and it's a Kurgan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Not from wrestling though.
No, not him. Kurgan.
Yeah. So are we saying back to take it to the Deathstrokes?
Yep.
Are we saying Titans Deathstroke is the slightly better Deathstroke?
Yeah, I'll say he's a slightly better.
That's by the way, and we're only saying that based not on anything how the portrayal is, just based on how much of the media can you consume if you're going to rewatch it, which is kind of not argument upon who did the better portrayal. No. It comes down to how much time you got to watch something for your own preference.
Yeah, he's the more like easiest accessible version to watch and understand.
Oh, okay. Which of the two would you say is more comics accurate? That might be the one that's comics accurate, not in look, because we were saying that they're relative to each other and that. Just more like in portrayal, character-wise, and what they would do within a story.
I have to go again, man, with the Titans version of my boy. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
The thing is one of those things where I do believe he would plan, and I do believe he'd go physically fight people as well. So yeah. I don't really think it tips too far in the thing with Jig. But I feel the one in Titans is a bit more rash. I would go and kill a bunch of kids. I don't know if he would kill a bunch of kids in the comics, right? He'd beat them up, fine.
I don't know. If you kill his own child, then I think he would kill.
Oh well. You know,
once you kill your own child, it's easy to kill kids.
Okay. That slippery slope, right?
Yeah, you just follow the road, like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Okay.
That sounds really bad.
All right. Well, yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, let's take these versions, right? Let's take these versions.
Yeah.
Those two versions.
Yep.
And if you put them against Batman, who would you think has the better chance of beating Batman up?
Once again, give it to my boy from Titans.
Okay. Okay.
Because like again,
I'm going to put the most physically intimidating Batman. That's also the most fight capable, which is the Ben Affleck Batman.
Yeah.
So of these Deathstrokes, I mean, I will say probably the Slade Wilson from Titans is the one that looks like. If you had to say to me, okay, Deathstroke's got it. If we're booking it in wrestling, right, and Deathstroke's got all these advantages, and you have to say like one of these Deathstrokes has to beat that version of Batman, I would say let's book Slade Wilson from Titans to win.
Yeah, so would I, because it feels more believable. You know, the other one, yeah, not to knock on his size or anything, dude's 5'6", you know, like how is he really gonna go against, you know, the Cape Crusader from
who is 6'4"?
Yeah, on a good day, you know, like so how am I, you know, I have to go with my boy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say as much as I've seen Manu Bennett in Spartacus, I know he could do stuff. I'm like, I see this Batman, or you know, the way that they could do stuff in the Batman. I'm like, yeah, I think the other guy, he looks like his custom armor can tank some of more of those hardcore Batman punches and kicks than the tactical gear, which looks a bit. It's not loose or anything like that, but it's not plated. It doesn't look like that will absorb a huge amount of damage.
No. It's just like, especially with you've got Batman with his maybe if he wanted to, he's like electric gloves and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not very nice.
Yeah, I mean, taser proof maybe, but you know he's got his blades and stuff, and this Batman likes to kill people as well, so you know he ain't gonna be. If this Batman was fighting a Deathstroke, he'd go for the other eye.
Yeah. Or he would do like Green Arrow did and stabbed him in the eye with the arrow, and that was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
My good eye. Sorry.
I have to say that you read Identity Crisis, yep?
Yeah.
I don't understand how they thought, all right, we're gonna have Deathstroke take the entire Justice League there. Oh, we're gonna remove Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman. So they didn't look like jobbers, but let's job everyone else out. How can you job the Flash out? Shut up.
Easy.
And Green Lantern is just sitting there at the top going, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go and watch this fight. And then when Deathstroke's beat everyone else up, right? I'm just going to go and try and punch him in the face.
Hey.
Like, they're proper... Carl Rayner, why are they making him such an idiot, you know?
Well, in like, their defense, I would say, you got to remember, he's the least experienced out of the Green Lantern.
Yeah. No, but he's been Green Lantern for an extended period of that time.
Well, depends...
And before that, he had to fight with Darkseid's son, which he was like doing that. He was like, "Now I'm not gonna fight you in the graveyard. I'm just gonna create the skeletons, and I'm gonna sit up in the clouds and just, you know, swarm you."
Yeah, but like
Darkseid's bastard son.
But
we're
like,
talking about
when they get the it's the problem when you have like super overpowered characters, and then you have like a meta-human-ish villain, and you got kind of like make it even playing field, but then it makes the superpowered hero look stupid, which is.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if he was beating up a JLA street team of some sort, like the Outsiders or whatever, right? Fair enough, right? But because I could get, okay, you bag Black Canary says she can't sonic cry. Somehow you laser the atom, knock him into whatever, right? Beat up Green Arrow, fine, yeah. But a Hawkman, okay,
Hawkman's trash
right?
anyway, but.
But when Wally West is running behind you to go and punch you in the back of the head, and somehow you can stick your blade between your shoulder, your under your armpit, and he runs into it. Hold on a minute.
I can buy that though, because Slade
you can't see the blades come out.
Well, I on Deathstroke's side, I can see it because he's got slight precog vision, which he doesn't actually know he has.
Okay.
So I kind of buy that.
Wait. Are you saying that, or is it just in the comics? They've actually wrote it in.
They've actually wrote it in. That's why like his daughter Rogue has it fully. She's a proper prequel. She can see things what happen.
I would have also accepted if he flashbanged and then the flash ran into his blade, because that is like he was blinded and he couldn't see it, right?
Yeah. But then you could also see it as the Flash wasn't thinking. He was thinking. He wasn't thinking straight. He was thinking more out of like he needs to. Not violent. What's the word? He wasn't fighting with emotion. Like he wasn't going in level-headed. That's why Deathstroke could like, pull something stupid like that on him. So I kind of get that. I just thought I'd mention this as well, even though it's not anything to do with live action, but it's kind of related to Deathstroke. Do you remember recently? Was it Dark Crisis? It was called.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, where Deathstroke was the main villain in that.
Yeah. And now we beat him up.
Yep.
But then again, and even though you're gonna say how come Batman can't beat up Deathstroke, but Nightwing can, right? Yeah. To be fair, Nightwing's had more encounters with him.
Yeah.
So you could just say he's had more experience dealing with him. And Nightwing's lost most of the time anyways, right? Yeah. The majority of the time. So you know. But then Nightwing's also beating up Midnighter, who has cybernetic enhancements and stuff like that.
Plus, this was the book to get Nightwing over, so I buy it.
Yeah.
So, and it makes sense.
Yeah. Nightwing has something that Batman doesn't have, and that's a heart. So you know.
And thought I'd bring that up when he had that weird mohawk, and you found out he was actually being possessed by what's his name?
The Psycho Pirate?
No,
that demon from the Yeah,
and what's his name? Pariah had something to do, all that stuff. Because didn't Pariah have something to do with the original Infinite Crisis and what?
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah. So, I have to say, I think Deathstroke, after he bombed Titan's Tower or whatever it was, and then he had that fight with Nightwing, he got jobbed out a little bit because the building fell on top of Nightwing, and then he gave Nightwing his Screamer Sticks and said, "I'm going to beat you up in front of everyone and broadcast it." Yeah. Just so you know, because you're the one here that they all look up to, because the Justice League is not here, right? So if I destroy you, I destroy everyone all at once, because that's the 90% brain capabilities, right?
Yeah.
But if he was going to do that, he should have just told one of his people, heal him to 100%, right?
Yeah.
And I'll beat him at his peak, and then like when Goku gave Cell the Sensu Bean.
Yeah. Dumb move.
You know.
Goku still. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if man was at 100%, all right, fine, I accept. But when man's already half dead and you still lose, that doesn't. Yeah.
But then I can kind of, again, this is I kind of find a reason in this, because I believe part of that was Deathstroke's actual conscience trying to fight against him being taken over.
All right.
Yeah, so I kind of.
All right, your headcanon, but yeah.
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 It's kind of makes.
And let me point out one other thing about Deathstroke. So is it the beginning of DC Infinite? No, not DC. The online, DC Online.
Yeah.
Where
DC Online. Yeah.
Where he's fighting Wonder Woman. I'm like, wait a minute, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
I can buy it, by the way, the beginning of that where Green Lantern's fighting Black Adam, right? And then the Flash is running towards them, and he's got them both, and he says Shazam, and then lightning strikes, and then he gets both of them, right? Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. He sacrificed himself as well, but that doesn't, all right, fine. But yeah, Deathstroke, Wonder Woman should just, if she kicked him hard enough, she'd break his ribs, and that'd be it. Well, he did it. She kicked him hard enough. You know the how when the Hulk kicked him off into the tree trunk.
Yeah,
that's probably what happened. Unless her boot goes through him because piercing damage.
Yeah, but he'll heal. Right? He's.
I don't think. What? By the way, what do you think his level of capabilities are? Because I just assumed he was Captain America, Super Soldier, Captain America First Avenger level of capabilities.
I think it is that, but then he's also got a healing factor.
Yeah, but then in Captain America has that as well.
But
in the movies.
Than is.
Yeah. In comics, they always, even though they have a healing factor, Batman gets beat up and he comes back like a week later. So you know what I mean. Has a healing factor apparently.
I think that's what Because he gets it after he gets his eye cut out, and that's why his eye doesn't grow back. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
That's why I thought in
So
Titans. That's why I thought they couldn't have killed him because he has a healing factor. But then whatever. Innit?
yeah, well, I think like with Wolverine, if you detach his head from his body, that won't be growing back.
No, but Deadpool can.
Yeah, but that's because Deadpool's healing factor
Is like ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. Deadpool, I believe, if I'm correct, though, yeah, this is Deadpool.
Yeah.
I think he got locked into prison
Hmm.
for centuries or something because of time travel in the story, and he just started eating his own body.
Yeah.
He let it regenerate and then ate it again.
Yeah.
Was it his own arm, leg, or something like that?
Something
Anyways,
like that,
sounds a bit.
Sounds
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's Deadpool, but that's comedy, kind of.
in a way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Whatever. You know.
Yeah. And speaking of that, now we're going to pull Deadpool back into Slade Wilson.
Yeah.
Did you read the is it post New 52 where it was the first Superman Batman team up,
Yeah.
and they had they were on a boat, and there was they couldn't call him Deadpool, but he was inverted Deadpool. It was the orange and blue Deadpool coloured character.
Okay. Yeah.
And every time he tried to introduce himself, he would go, "I'm dead," and then
You get cut.
get interrupted.
Yeah.
But he's basically Deadpool because he's got the knives and everything like that.
Yeah.
Even though he's only got one eye. Yeah. So they were just like, "Yep, this is a character that's that's a rip-off of one of our characters, but now we're ripping him right back."
Yeah. Because I know
It's the dark side Thanos Mongol thing.
Yeah. Because I know, like, there was recently a character like Deadpool in the Harley Quinn comics, but I can't read his name.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, all right.
I wasn't reading it. Okay. Cool for them, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think we'll see another live action version of Deathstroke at some point?
I believe we will in this new James Gunn universe. I think we will.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be in the Suicide Squad, or do you think it'll be in a Batman movie, or would you?
I don't know.
Task Force X.
Might be Task
They could
Force.
just call it, yeah.
Or the Seven. Like that.
Or
Was
the
it
Titans.
Team 7,
Maybe would it be the Seven from The Boys?
I realised it's Team 7. Team 7 was like a weird book they brought out during the New 52.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Or do you think it'll be the villain in the Nightwing movie?
If they were smart, that would be the way to go.
Or the Titans movie if they decide to do that.
Or he might even be in the Brave and the Bold Batman and Robin film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But they might do the stupid thing I just said, like, hey, Deathstroke might be Damien's dad. I'm like, really? We're going that weird route?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he turned up in the Superman film, but it's not. They won't now because they would announce that.
If he's a cameo,
Could be.
Yeah. Like sometimes in credits or whatever, you could just have something. Yeah. I'm still holding out. It's probably not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But I'm just saying, as in credits, right? When by the time the new Captain America film come out next year, at the end of the end credits, we see Henry Cavill as Captain Britain. But
I don't want that to happen. It's just.
All right.
Because I saw some stupid thing the other day on YouTube. Like,
go.
Why is there such a thing? Like, someone made a video saying how Henry Cavill's gonna be Cyclops. I'm like, where did we jump from to this?
I think he said he'd want to be Captain Britain if he was in the MCU.
Yeah,
so I think that makes sense, man.
But like,
I mean, I can see him as a team commander and stuff like that, but I don't know about that.
Like, I've seen people say for him, for Hyperion, Sentry. It's like just.
Well, Hyperion, yeah, but that's only because he was Superman.
Yeah, which I kind of got.
They you know what they should do?
What?
They should get Ben Affleck for Nighthawk. They have to give him the Robert Downey Jr. makeup though.
Yeah, that would be jokes. That'd be jokes.
But yes. But yes, yeah. So yeah, and you think he will be used in the James Gunn DC universe, Deathstroke, that is.
I would like him to be because he's like the only he's a true I don't know, like if they want to do more action orientated films and stuff,
Yeah.
He would be a good, like, villain to have.
Yeah.
Rather than like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me ask, why do you think they used him in Arrow? Like, okay, they used him in Titans to make sense, right?
Yeah.
But he's not really, other than when Green Arrow shoved the arrow in his eye,
Yeah.
which was like in, what, 2008 or something like that, when Identity Crisis was there? He was never, I don't think he had any crossings with Green Arrow prior to that.
I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he did because it had something to do with Roy Harper, because Roy Harper was part of was part of the Teen Titans. He had beef with all those sort of people.
Okay, well, yeah, but that's kind of indirectly, because you could also say Aqualad was part of the Teen Titans, and then Aquaman's like having beef with Deathstroke because of that.
But I don't think he was part of the team. But yeah, I know he has. I'm pretty sure he did have run-ins with Green Arrow before that.
Oh, okay. Well, right. Just as we're closing up.
Yep.
Did you ever read the Green Arrow Supermax movie script that was going around in the 2000s?
Ages. Yeah. Which I was somewhat.
Matt Damon apparently was going to be Green Arrow. I think they were going to say.
Who's going to be Green Arrow?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Okay.
Probably what they watched the Bourne movies and thought, okay, this guy could do it. Anyways, the quick basis of that story is Oliver Queen gets revealed as Green Arrow.
Yeah.
All his money gets siphoned away because his hedge fund manager, whatever it was taking his cash.
Yeah.
So they had no money for bail. They threw him in jail. They put him in the Supermax because he was a superhero, right?
Yeah.
Whether they own powers or not, this is where the superheroes go. But that's where all the supervillains are.
Yeah.
So there's a prison breakout, and then he's got to
put him back in, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then Deathstroke's the main villain.
See,
the final boss of that.
I'd buy that. Oh, I would watch it. I mean, not buy it, but you know.
Yeah. Because it'd be fight, right?
That would be.
Which one? I think it'd be. It's doing something like that. A small, self-contained movie.
Yeah. That
takes place in this one area, and you work around it because it doesn't need to be extravagant or grand.
No.
But yeah, I just think it's a more recent thing. They decided to put Deathstroke and Green Arrow as rivals because they don't seem to be attached to each other in the comics.
Pretty sure that I might be wrong. They could, because I know there's. What am I thinking of? Oh, no, I was thinking of it as a comic where Speedy gets kidnapped, but then I realised no, it was Red Hood who kidnapped her. That was in the Green Arrow comic as well, which was a bit weird.
Red Hood has no business with Green Arrow either, but Red Hood's just gonna Red Hood, right?
Yeah, that was weird. Alright.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Okay.
I can't remember saying.
Yeah. No, I was going to close up, but if you're actually going to search that up, I can't really close us down. You know, I can't say. Yeah.
I got encounters wrong. Encounters. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, because I'm looking at some, and it looks like before that, but I could be wrong. January the. Oh no, you're right. Their first like major encounter, what everyone knows about, was the identity crisis when he stabbed in the eye.
Yeah.
Since then, Deathstroke's take it personally, and that's been his beef. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you would though. You would after that. You're like.
After that, like bro, you know.
And at least it wasn't in his good eye because he wouldn't have stopped after. He would have kept on coming.
Wow.
It would have terminated Green Arrow for good.
Yeah. Surprised he hasn't, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I know he's always like him and Red Arrow's always had like beef and stuff, but again that's because of the Teen Titan connection. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Wally. Yeah. He hates teenage boys that become men. Yeah.
You know what? I'm your new sensei, boys. Yeah. And when you pass me, like I will pass my knowledge to you with talking with my fists.
Yeah.
And you guys will graduate and you'll become better men for it. Wow. Abuser, and that's how you do it.
Wow.
Victim blaming as well. Teaching the boys lessons.
Petty man.
Yeah. And then say, I'm doing it for you.
Yeah, you're like, but are you really though?
No. All right. Yeah. Okay. That will close us up for this episode of Trip Around Multiverse, talking about live action Deathstrokes. Even though we only really concentrate on two of them because
Yeah,
the two other, well, the two of the three other. I wouldn't even say much about Wintergreen, but I guess I don't really think he was called Deathstroke much in that. He had the mask, and that was
it.
That was it. They never actually called him Deathstroke.
No, Wintergreen, who is
Yeah.
who, if I remember correctly, I don't know. He was his butler, right? But then there was a point where he actually was dead he was actually dead this whole time, but he mentally thought he was still alive.
Well, I don't know. That's definitely not the version they used in Arrow. I'll tell you that much.
Arrow. I
think Wintergreen was his friend. But yes, I do remember something like Wintergreen being his butler. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Because I think he was. Because if I remember correctly, the New Teen Titans from 2003 onwards with Jeff John, that's how it starts, where he thinks Wintergreen's still alive, and someone's like, "No, dude, Wintergreen's been dead for a while." And he's like, "What?" Then it's like Jericho playing mind tricks with. Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's us closing up for this episode of Trip Around Multiverse, talking about our boys, our one single eye patch dude who has
killed many children.
yes, and many of his own.
Yeah, many of his own. Well.
Yeah, they hate him and he hates them.
Yes.
Such a inspiring character, is he not?
He's great. Oh.
Yeah. So I'm the man who, when I was lying in the hospital bed, Dick Grayson Batman came up and squeezed the IV and threatened me not to hurt him again. So, like, when Dick Grayson's Batman all of a sudden gets a power up, I don't know. Anyways, CLI Chung.
And I am the man who. No, I'm about to say one. I'm not going to say it because it's really bad.
You're not going to say that one. I think I know where you were going. You got to say that.
I cut it. I'm not going to say it. I am the man who has a more popular ripoff, Kyle Charles, because how many people know Deadpool and how many people know Deathstroke?
Yeah, I think that's because they kind of 180 as far as characterization and personalities are concerned.
Yeah, plus Deadpool, he's more marketable.
Well, yeah, original Deadpool.
Original Deadpool is just a blank slate, but yeah. Get it?
Yeah.
Slate, yeah.
You know, but original Deadpool wouldn't have been as popular as how they readjusted him. So
yeah, it would have been pointless.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening. Don't forget, you're watching this on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Write a comment below. What's your favorite Deathstroke character? And
why?
And why? And which child he killed was your favorite? Let me say that. And also, if you're listening on audio platform, don't forget to give us a 5-star review. Also sub to wherever you listen to us on. And you can also contact us and follow us on like our social medias, as in Instagram, Twitter, obviously YouTube, and that can be found on the top of the screen and also in the description bar if you're listening to this on podcast or whatever. And I didn't get myself there. And once again, thank you for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.